Welcome to season 2 of My Too Loud the podcast. Y'all.
Do you think podcasting is hard?
Oh, absolutely. Season 2 is simply us existing as Sophie and Donald.
I don't think I've ever told you this. I think I have.
Ew, don't say anything.
No, for real though, because I think
No, it's gonna be emotional.
No. I like.
swear I'm gonna throw up. Don't
No.
you dare keep going.
Sophia to Brian.
Ew. I hate this so much. I don't think there's any podcast like what we have here. And I can say that on my mom. She's not dead.
Wow. Oh my god, bro.
On my dad, he's dead. It feels good. I miss this so much.
Right.
Oh, let's stare into each other's eyes. First person to blink. Pace. God damn it. Welcome to Am I Too Loud, the podcast. Guys, welcome to Am I Too Loud, the fucking podcast with Sophie, aka the motherfucking Odditty. I curse a lot. I feel like we're gonna have to bleep half of that intro out. Welcome to season 2 of Am I Too Loud, the podcast. Y'all, I can't believe we're finally back again. This is my episode 21 of Am I Too Loud, my baby, and we took a break and now we're back. Tell a friend to tell a friend, tell the odd fam to report in. Let me know in the comments if you guys are excited, because I'm excited to be back. I am trying really hard not to scream and yell because we got a new mic for the podcast and it's very delicate. If not, I would be screaming my fudging lungs out and throwing this mic away because I can't believe we're finally back. I did not think we were going to be back this soon. I thought we were genuinely going to be back sometime in the fall. I really was like, maybe we're just going to scrap the podcast anyways. And then I just woke up one day and I was like, why the fudge did I stop this in the first place? We're going to get into all of that. But first, because I know you guys are going to ask, yes, he's here. He's everyone's favorite. My favorite is here, Mr. Kovu.
You know when you're waiting to hear a name? I was like, is the dog here?
Donald is here.
Hello.
Really? Season 2 and that's how you're going to start? Really?
No. Like,
hello? Why are you trying to be cool?
I'm not trying to be cool. This is my personality.
We literally practice.
We practice?
Fuck, that's a lie. That's not your personality.
What do you think my personality is?
Don't know, your personality is not that. You literally almost threw me on the floor today.
You know the difference?
You also punched my new piercing.
I got
a piercing, guys. You kicked me kicked me the lip.
Yeah.
So you're not hello. Who are you trying to be sexy for? Weird.
Yeah, there's so much to unpack because
I remember when the team was like, there's gonna be a reel of Sophie being bullying Donald for the entirety of all the episodes.
We got off to a new start. Like
no,
it's fresh.
Because you
know what's happening right now?
What?
I can hear myself, and I sound so good. I don't know, like
guys, we
what
got
do
a
you
new
guys
mic
think?
and we got a new setup, and then Donald is really excited about the setup. Clearly,
I sound so good.
You sound ridiculous. I'm gonna keep you as a producer, and I'm gonna off the camera.
You see,
you're not gonna talk.
You wanted my personality to come out.
I'm gonna
my personality came out,
you.
and now my personality is gonna take a backseat.
I don't think it was smart for you to give me this because I want to throw it at you because
Really?
it's flexible.
No, but this is so cool though.
It is. I'm really excited. I'm glad we're back. Let's talk about why. Why do you think we stopped season 1? Be very honest. This is your time to be honest with the cameras.
I think it's because we got bored. I got bored.
You did not get bored.
Yes,
Why are you
I
trying
did.
to be fake deep?
No,
That's
I'm not trying
true.
to be. No. When I say bored, is like I feel like we're the type of people like if we love routines, right? And I feel like we created this routine, and we fell out of love with the routine.
I don't think that's true. Maybe you need to talk for yourself because this is news for me.
You just asked me.
Yeah, I know, but now I'm shocked that you said that.
Because we've never discussed this.
Why would you say you got bored?
Because I don't want to talk from your perspective.
Oh, really?
Pause. I'm not when I say bored, I don't mean bored like, oh, it wasn't fun, but it became a routine. And I think like you're very good at looking at a situation, especially when we're doing something together, from outside and be like, oh, like
something wasn't working.
Exactly.
But I wouldn't say it was boredom. I would say that I think you thought we had hit the rhythm when we weren't even close to it.
Yes.
I think that's what it is. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily boredom, but like I think we got to a point where, so guys, here's the thing. I've been thinking about My Too Loud since like 4 years now. Like everybody who knew me knew I had wanted a podcast. That name was already there. I just really wanted to start talking, but I would always find an excuse to not do it. And so finally last year I was like, you know what? I have the funds for this now. I need to just go ahead and start my podcast. And I did. And it was so well received.
Yeah.
But as time went on, we started looking at everybody else and seeing what they were doing. Like I would compare myself to like Shits and Gigs, the Uncut Podcast, Madam Joyce. Yeah, those are my babies. Those are the three that I could think of. And Anna Chamberlain is crazy. Emma Chamberlain, Alex Earl. I'll compare myself to all these people, and like I'll be like, why are we not getting these numbers? And it's because we're not the same. You know what I mean? Like, and all these people are like I'm fans of, right? But I will always start comparing myself, which is a good conversation to have down the line about comparison and the thief of joy. But I would compare myself a lot to these people. And what I started doing was when we got to the point where we're 20 episodes in, we still hadn't hit that like buzz, like that, like, oh, people are tuned in waiting for the podcast. Yeah. People are clamoring for it. Sometimes we're doing well on social media, sometimes we weren't. And we definitely, because the podcast is not the only thing I do, it was even harder for us to find the passion for it. And I think for me too, maybe a little bit misguided of me, but I really was so confident that once I started it, brands and companies would see how good I was at podcasting and want to take over the production of it. So if you don't know, My Too Loud is solely funded by me. I pay for everything. This is my baby. Camera equipment, production, all that stuff. And so like it's harder for me too to like justify spending $10,000, $8,000 a month on a podcast that I'm not seeing any results from. And I know my team told me this every time, that I didn't have to spend that much money for quality production. But if anyone knows me, first of all, I'm Nigerian. So already that means I need to be perfect, right? I'm a Cancer. I am a perfectionist anyways. So for me, I really just wanted it to be the best of the best. If I was going to spend 4 years dreaming of this, after those 4 years, it needed to be the best that I'd ever done. And I came out of the gate swinging. I mean, I was fucking, I need to stop cursing. I was doing a podcast on the fucking balcony. You know what I mean? Like I had this big idea that I would be the next Stephen Colbert and Jon Stewart and Trevor Noah and stuff. What?
You still will.
I know I will, but like I think I tend to think it would happen so soon. And so all this money is going into this podcast. All this conversation is happening with me and Donald. And we're still like, we're going and we're growing, but everything else is happening at the same time. So I have Instagram, I have brand deals, I have TikTok, I have my YouTube vlog channel. I have all these things. So the podcast ended up being my priority, but it was a priority that was not making me any money. And so I remember when I would have meetings with my team, they're like, you can't just record a podcast. Like you need to do more ideas for your Instagram, for your TikTok, because that's where the brand deals and the money comes in. And then and this is where I'll call you out a bit, and I don't think Donald knows this. And I think I was depending on Donald a bit to help me carry on the producing more and like bring the energy. But the way our relationship work, I think we feed off of each other. So if one person is dying, like you're dying too. Like we're not necessarily like constantly.
I'll say yes, but I'll say no, because like a lot of things you're saying, sometimes like I feel like you have conversations with me without me being there. Right? Because some of these things are very new to me.
Yeah.
Right? Like what you're talking about. Like,
you've never heard of this.
Because I'll always ask you, like even like going in, I'll be like, because I'm trying to check, right? It's like, oh, how you feeling? And like you're like, oh, you're excited, it's going.
Yeah.
And I think it's also part like we've only known each other for 2 years.
Yeah.
So there's
it's a long time though.
It is a long time, but like because when you were talking like podcast production and like you pretty much like before you brought me on, you made a lot of moves.
I already knew exactly what I wanted
to do.
So
those things were happening. So at the same time, it's like I'm also like I can't come out the gate and be like, oh, like I don't know if X, Y, and Z is gonna work. So the last thing I want to do is like tell you.
But then we've talked about me leaning on your expertise more. So here's the thing about Donald, guys. He hesitates a lot. Yeah. And which is crazy because I wouldn't necessarily say you're scared of taking risks, but you are. Like you kind of like stability and you like knowing the outcome. And I think something about social media and content creation is like you can never guess the outcome of this shit.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
You can't fucking know if this random video you shoot today is gonna be the viral video that's gonna change your fucking life. Like it can take this year, it can take 2 days, it can take 20 years. You never know. Anyone who's been successful will tell you they don't know. Like if they knew, they bought the success. Like no one who's truly done something and done something well knew when that moment was for them. They just simply did it. Like Quinta wouldn't have done BuzzFeed thinking she was going to end up doing Apple Elementary and having it be the success it is. You know what I mean?
You never know which particular thing too.
Exactly. So I think for us going into this, I generally wanted more of like you pushing your expertise and stuff. And I think we would say like, oh, I want you to tell me more. But I also say that with the asterisk of I don't listen. Right? Like I am a very stubborn person and I like to do exactly what I want because in my head I've thought things through so much that anything you're gonna come say to me, I probably have said it in my head to myself, and I've thought about the different outcome. So I think towards the end of the podcast, especially for season 1, we were both burnt out for sure, but we're also both like looking at each other like, what's next?
Right.
And I think for me, I was getting drawn away from the podcast by my team, not in a bad way, but more in like this thing isn't making you money yet. Downsize, don't do all this and like be upset that's not working out, and do focus on other things. So I spent the last 2 months traveling. Like I can't imagine having the podcast. Maybe I could, but I don't think I was going to be able to do it well. I can't imagine having the podcast happening at the same time, doing all the travels I've been doing and making the moves that I've been making. However, also it was a mindset thing. I think my mindset has shifted now. Plus I realized I have so much to learn, because as we went, why are you smiling?
Because it's a lot of things.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because I also didn't know you were traveling. You had all that. So like,
okay, so also let's talk about it real quick without interrupting.
After the traveling,
yeah,
I was like, it makes sense why you made this decision.
Yeah.
There's no way.
I tell Donald this all the time, that my podcast life with Donald is so separate from my work life. Like, I'm now slowly bringing you into like the full team, but my team is they're all so spread out, and I'm working now on bringing everyone together, so everybody sort of like knows where everyone's role is. And for example, like I'll be having a conversation about the podcast with Donald, and then my team and I were having something else about like Instagram and TikTok, but they don't feed into each other. There's two very different entities, which is not good, because at the end of the day, like I am one person. So even when I was planning all these things, Donald didn't know anything was happening, and then I would be like, I can't do it. And he'll be looking at me like, why? Like, why can't you do this? I'm like, bro, because I have 50 deliverables.
You just called me one day and you're like, I have bad news.
Yeah, I was just like, I was so overwhelmed and I was so exhausted. And I kept looking at my bank account, and I kept looking at the numbers, and I kept looking at like listening to my team. I was just like, I am so exhausted.
Yeah.
And I just wish a production company would take this off my hands. But I also, now that I watch our old episodes back when we were on the break, I was like, we have so much to learn.
Yeah.
Like, I think Madam Joyce has posted over 200 episodes. Like, these podcasts that I'm comparing myself to have posted so many episodes. They've been learning they've been learning as they have been growing. And I think I was sort of like jumping the gun in what I thought I should be, or where I thought I should be at 21 episodes. Because this is episode 21. So even looking at our episode, like, oh, we have so much more to learn, and we have so much space to grow with the podcast, that it doesn't have to be perfect. And that was the whole point of Am I Too Loud, right? It's supposed to be like the space for everyone who's listening and watching to, excuse me, I just belched. It's supposed to be a space for all of us to just like simply enjoy life and not be perfect.
Yeah.
So this season 2 is simply us existing as Sofi and Donald, or as the Odditty and Donald, or as the Odditty and a random creative. See what I did there? Where like we're going to be exploring so many nuances to like our opinions, our thoughts, our experiences, reacting to a lot of your dilemmas, talking about trending topics, just checking in with each other every single week about our loudest, boldest, craziest opinions. And we'll just be chit-chatting. I think this is what I want this podcast to be. And I could see that now, because I went out, I think over the past couple of weeks I've been going out more. Yeah. Everybody I've met, they don't say they know me from TikTok. Right. They're telling me, oh my God, I love you and Donald on your podcast. What?
Yeah.
On my podcast? Like, you guys know about the podcast? I didn't know anyone listened, but people are out there listening. So
even for me with business, like I would have clients come through the call and be like, oh, where did you find me? And they'd be like, oh, the podcast. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean the podcast?
Putting that shit
I had a friend who was like, oh, like she listens to this podcast called Am I Too Loud? Yeah. And she's like, she heard my voice, and she's like, oh my God, she didn't know like the Donald in the podcast was me.
Donald. It is, guys. No, you're really special, Donald. So thank you for being a part of my podcast.
Damn, do you guys hear that? Clip this. Clip it. Cut it. Can someone take this?
Can you put this part at the end of me cursing him out every 5 seconds?
Clip this. No,
but you said something today that I want people to hear.
Okay.
When you said I was happy, or when you know I'm happy, what did you say?
Whoa.
When I was
when like you're aggressive.
Yeah. Donald was like, he knows I'm in a good mood when I'm aggressive, when I'm like punching or beating or cursing, because I'm aggressive.
This is what I want to say.
I am an aggressive lover.
I think I want to say like one. I don't think I've ever told you this. I think I have.
Ew, don't say anything.
No, for real though, because I think
Don't know. Is it gonna be emotional?
yeah, I'm extremely proud of you.
No.
No. Pause.
Tell me
Let me say it. No, I'm extremely proud of you though, because you know what? I like.
swear I'm gonna throw up.
No,
Don't you dare keep going.
No, I am. Let me tell you. Let me say it. Okay. So, Sophia to Brian.
Ew.
No, I'm extremely proud of you. I am, because
I swear you should hear my heart beating.
I know. I think for the past
so much
2 years.
Wow.
For the past 2 years, like I think I've watched you, like you've changed. I'm sure you've changed everyone's lives, right? Anyone who
I don't like this. I don't like
pause.
this. No,
I'm getting somewhere. I'm getting somewhere.
Okay.
Right? I think it's important, because it's important to know that like the people that are in your life and the people that watch you actually like are going on that journey with you, and like they might not see every single, like, because I feel like you're always putting positivity out there. And I think that's part of the reason why, like, when you were feeling,
Don't make me sad.
pause,
Ew.
like when you were feeling like, you see, like, because for me it's like I'm a business owner, like I'm a creator too, so on the back end I'm like, how does Sophie feel? Like, okay, this numbers, because I'm feeling it too. I'm looking at the analytics daily, everything, and I'm like, how does she feel? Okay, this money is going here, because we're all spending money. Like, we live in this crazy place. I think when I look at you and I talk to you, like, you always like, nah, it's not about that. It's good. I'm like, it's not about that. It's good, you know. But I'm very proud of you, because not a lot of people would go past through like the last 20 episodes and like spend everything, apart from the episodes, like everything we've ever touched, right? And I think like a time is gonna come where you're gonna look back and be like, damn, that was crazy tuition money. Right? I'd be like, you paid a lot of tuition.
We paid a lot of tuition for the right things.
But
Thank you for saying that. That meant a lot to me. I will kill you after the episode.
Okay.
Tell me you're not clipping that clip. If I see that clip
Oh my
online,
God, that's gonna be
the
music too.
I feel like that's gonna be like a clip where she's like that one friend who can't take a compliment. I can just see the social media post right now. Okay. Guys, I'm gonna be referring to Tommy. Tommy is our social media manager. Aficionado. I feel like manager is so small. Guru, I was gonna say. God, okay. Oh, don't know how to continue.
So season 2. I feel like we started really good.
It feels good. I miss this so much.
Right.
Oh, let's stare into each other's eyes. First person to blink. Pace. God damn it.
Tell me, why do I like dares and like competition? Like if there's like a reward for something.
Because you're a middle child.
Because I'm a middle child?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That seems like a logical answer. I don't fucking know why you're asking me that kind of question. What do I look like? Nebuchadnezzar. Who is Nebuchadnezzar? Nebuchadnezzar.
Who's that?
Is a king in the jungle. Very, very stupid, very, very foolish.
Mm-hmm.
Where do I know that from? That is so random.
Oh, he's a king of Babylon.
Oh, is that in the Bible?
Yeah.
Why do I know that?
I don't know.
So random. Anyways, season 2, guys. Donald likes competition and Donald loves me.
Yes.
It's pretty much the wrap of it. But no, for season 2, I think I'm really excited to kick things off like this, because I feel like it's going to be a fun season. But I also think I'm going to move away from seasons and we're going to be uploading every Wednesday, anytime between 12:30 EST to 4:30 EST. Let's just give that kind of breakthrough.
Yeah, like early.
And early, ideally early, looking at Donald to make sure it is early. But it's going to be fun. I think there's so much we want to catch up on. We might open a Patreon, we might not, but My Lot is here to stay. So merch is going to be coming out soon. I think I am going to bet on myself fully. And not necessarily, I can't speak sometimes. And you guys also, sidebar, see, I don't finish my thought. Hold on. Put it in a note that I was going to say. I forgot what I was going to say. God damn it. Guys, I have ADHD.
Patreon.
Put it
merch.
Just put Patreon and merch on the side.
Okay.
What was I saying before then?
I have no idea. I should know that.
So my biggest issue, I've been told, is I don't finish my sentences, especially on the podcast. Whenever I'm trying to cut clips for the podcast, I don't know how to communicate without finishing my sentences, especially even when I'm talking to Donald. Because me and Donald are so in sync that like I know exactly what he's about to say. So I either also interrupt him by finishing his sentence for him, or he's talking and I've already responded to his conversation,
And then
and I continue on and we move on to something
just
else.
something, right?
So we're learning as we go for season 2 that I'm going to try to pace myself, let Donald speak, and if I don't let you speak, say or something.
Okay. Do you think podcasting is hard?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Like yapping for this long, I don't even know how we're doing it, but also like making sure we're entertaining people at the same time, I think is really hard. See, also now you just moved the conversation to something else, because how do we get to podcasting?
So I think what happens is sometimes when someone is talking,
you start thinking of the
it
next
starts
thing.
to fade out, and I'm like, I wonder.
So I am learning. See, also I interrupted you because I knew exactly where you were going with that. Well, I need
They
to
said
not
it's
do
not
that.
a good thing.
That will.
Like people who do that. Because some people
To
are like,
wait to continue the next one. I think it's because we are entertainers. Like I never want to lull in the conversation.
Right.
But at the same time, I think it's okay to have that lull.
Right.
Also, I've been listening to Trevor Noah's podcast though, and Trevor is just like me. Trevor also interrupts people.
Yeah.
So if Trevor Noah can do it, I can do it too.
That's crazy.
Well,
I hope you guys can follow. We just went through like 10 different
I'm
topics.
telling you, it's so hard to cut clips from us talking.
Marathon.
But there's no other, first of all, sidebar.
Yeah, this is episode title.
ADHD and me. Guys, I don't think there's any podcast like what we have here. And I can say that on my mom.
Yeah.
She's not dead.
Wow. Oh my God, bro.
On my dad, he's dead. I can say that on my father's life. Like, I don't think there's any podcast like ours. Like, even listening to our banter and like the way we connect and we talk I think it's so raw and so authentic and so us that I'm just really grateful to like have this space with you. I don't know why I randomly just said that, but I wanted to throw that out there. Why are we in our feelings today? I don't know. I don't like it. Let's move on. Fuck you. Anyways, let's do a quick catch up because this episode is just going to be us catching up on what you've missed in our lives and also our hot topics and our crazy opinions about everything else happening in the world. One thing you've missed, guys, is today, literally a few hours ago, I got my ears pierced. I got my helix and my middle lobe pierced. And it still hurts like a bitch. So I'm in a lot of pain. My ears are throbbing. So if you feel or see some redness in my ear, that's why. Me and Donald ran a marathon. I ran a half marathon and he ran a full marathon. Tell me everything you're feeling. So can I say something about Donald running his first marathon? Yeah. Okay. Guys, Donald is the most competitive asshole I've ever met in my life. Like, especially, I don't think Donald understands being a woman and a man. And now, let's talk about it real quick. Because there's nuance to that, right? Masculinity and femininity and the nuance of like, what are masculine and feminine traits? Are men stronger than women? Are men equal to women? I hold the perspective that our bodies are very different. Not necessarily our minds or our brains, even those I think are different in different ways. I say all that very nuanced. It's not black and white. I think it's very gray. Because when Donald first told me about he was going to run a marathon, I was like, oh, I'm definitely going to run a marathon too. And I can definitely do it. And so I ended up being the first person to run a marathon. And Donald is like competitive. So Donald would, when I first started, I would be like, Donald, I can't run within 5 minutes or a minute. And Donald's going to be like, yes, you can beat. I'm like, Donald, like, I'm a girl. I'm just a girl. I can't do that. Like, leave me alone. And he would always make it seem like, yes, I could. And that was fine because I ended up running and I killed it. Donald's turn comes. In my head, I was like, I kept trying to tell him that a marathon isn't necessarily a strength race. It's a mind race. So that's why it's so different for men and women in that race specifically, because body composition, bodies, all of that doesn't really matter in that race. It's all about your mind. You can be the fittest, strongest, any man or woman in the world. Running a marathon is such a different feat. People who can run, it's all a mind game. You have to have the mindset for it. Yeah. That's why the men and women races, when they say the winners, it's such a close amount of time. It's never necessarily about the fact that it's a man winning or a woman winning. It's simply just a thing of the mind, right? So Donald runs his race. How did it go, Donald? I will say I called Donald a certain mile mark, and I've never seen Donald so defeated in my entire life. Donald felt like, I think in his head, he was like, how the fuck are all these tiny ass people running past me? And these girls are running, and Sofi ran this shit, and she didn't tell me this thing was hard. And I remember I told him I think it's hard, but in his head, I think he kept thinking, no, she just didn't train well enough. This can't be that hard. Right. Donald, how was the marathon?
It was hard.
Yeah, I saw.
It was probably the hardest thing I've ever done. I remember, completing the first half marathon,
Mm-hmm.
and we went past the finish line, right?
Yeah.
And I saw you finish.
So a marathon is 26.2 miles
Yeah.
or 42 kilometers, which
Right.
is typically on the average, you run a marathon for about 3 to 6 hours. So you're running steady for 3 to 6 hours. That's the context. Right. Okay.
And then, but half is 13.1.
Half is 13.1.
So on that
that's
day,
about 2 to 4 hours.
Right. And on that day, Sophie ran a half.
Yes, I was not doing a full unless I was getting a gold medal.
After I passed that half, I think like I run a lot.
You do.
And when I got to the 15th mile, I felt something.
Yeah.
I felt my muscle and like my calf like tighten up a bit. And I was like, oh,
what's going on?
That's interesting. And then I got to 18 and I physically couldn't do it anymore.
You couldn't.
And I couldn't believe it because I'm just like,
you've done this before.
This is easy. Like it's running. But like my body was like, no. But I would say, just to make the long story short, the fact that I was alone, I think like that moment changed my life.
Really?
Because it made me slow down, right? I slowed down and I was like, if I'm going to finish this, I need to plan. So I slowed down, walked a little bit, and I just started running, but not in the same way I was running before. I had to change my entire like way I was running to accommodate for the pain that I was feeling. And that's how I was able to get through to the end. And like, I would not recommend anyone to run a marathon. But
really?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
But I would tell you that if you ran a marathon, it would be the most insane, unreal,
it's the
best thing you ever do.
I feel unstoppable.
Yeah.
I think like the marathon changed my life. Like even like running that half, I remember mile 1 to 3. It's such a mind game.
Yeah.
First of all, we were late to the starting point for the marathon day. So I was already like, why the fudge am I doing this again?
Right.
Like, first of all, Donald can run this by himself. I would cheer him on. I don't want to do this. And I was so close every time. And I just told myself, if I got to this end of the mile, I'll think about it. I'll think about stopping. And I'll say end of 2 miles, end of 3 miles, end of 4 miles. Before you know, I was like at 7. I was like, okay, if I can do 7, I can do 8. If I can do 8, I'm almost at 10. If I can do 10, I might as well do 13. That was my thinking for the half. And I remember like I was with Donald's girlfriend and his sister. And I when I finished, I found them and I was like, oh, how's Donald doing? Because I'd finished the race and he was still running. And his girlfriend was like, he's not doing good. He's like, he just looked like he just didn't want to be here anymore. And I was like, I'm going to call him. And I called Donald, and just hearing your voice break, essentially, Donald was like, I'm like, are you okay? He's like, yeah, but like, fuck. I'm like, he's like, Sophie's hard. I'm like, I know. I've been trying to tell you that no matter how hard you prepare, race day can go so many different ways. And the only thing that matters is you just keep running. Like the idea of like Nemo, just keep swimming. And I think even watching you accomplish that, I was so proud of you. Cause like, I knew how hard you trained and I knew how much you beat yourself up for it. But at the same time, like you finished that shit. Like you did it. Your first marathon is over with. Now you can do like 20 million more. But the fact that you pushed through is a trait that not a lot of people have. Yeah. Because people give up. Right. And again, like, of course, if you're not feeling like it's healthy for you, whatever, you should absolutely always give up. Like, don't kill yourself over something that you shouldn't kill yourself over. But it takes a certain level of a person to be in so much pain, but just be like, as long as I put one foot in front of the other, I'm going to be fine. Yeah. Which is exactly why I really loved.
That's the thing, is like, it was hard.
It was hard as shit.
Like, it was the hardest, like, mile 20.
Insane.
I was like,
mile 20 is always the hardest.
I was like, there's a possibility, like, there was a possibility that I couldn't have finished. And that was the scariest thing. Because I finished in 4 hours, 58 minutes. And when I thought about running the marathon, like my first half, I was done in like 2 hours. Yeah. So like running an extra 3 hours for the second half was like, wow. Like,
but remember I told you, I said, at some point, it's not even about power anymore. It's just about mind. Yeah. Because your body will pain you. Your body doesn't want to put you through that shit. Like, there's so many things our bodies don't want to do that we have to do for the body.
And around me too. It's like the people. Like, it's such an interesting visual because you have people around you giving up. Yeah. Crying. And it was like a long stretch of a graveyard. That was like the entire.
Because we ran the Jersey City Marathon.
It was, and I was like, okay, if I can make it to the end. I think the fact that I had you guys at the end, I was like, and one thing about me is like, I want to always make sure I make people proud. Because the last thing, I don't want to give anyone a reason to not complete something.
Yeah, but also would have been proud of you regardless. I hope you know that.
I know that.
Yeah.
but I would have not been proud of
I would
myself.
have clowned you a lot. Though.
Exactly.
Oh, my
Exactly.
days.
You know,
Oh.
but that's the thing. So after the marathon, for 3 days, I couldn't do anything.
Yeah, you could not.
Right.
You
But
couldn't even
7 days
walk.
later,
You felt like I can do this shit again.
I ran a half marathon.
You did. And you killed it. You speedy McMuffin.
I'm telling you, I was running fast. And I was like, wow.
But you see my issue with you though? Can we call you out real
Yes.
quick? So here's the thing I tried to tell Donald. Slow and steady also wins the race.
Right.
And I think you doing the half marathon and making sure you were fastest
Yeah.
and you killed it was proving to yourself that you can do it. But you like
No.
not to throw
Yes,
it back
yes
at
and
you.
no.
Let me explain.
Okay.
And you can't tell me yes and no because I'm very sure of this thinking. Because you do that, it manifests everywhere.
Okay.
I think for me, watching you do that was so great. And it was humbling for me to see you struggle, because I think one of your traits that I've noticed is like you think you know everything, not in a bad way, right? You're very like, I know exactly what I'm doing. So you don't tend to want to ask questions with your peers. I think maybe you've been hurt in the past. We might unpack this later.
Yeah.
Maybe you've been hurt. So you tend to like, you would go to AI or computers or you do your own research and then you come to a conclusion. But you don't listen to other people about their thoughts to influence your decision, which is a good and a bad thing, right? Because I remember that when we were training, I kept telling you like, it's a long race. It's slow and steady wins the race. But in your mind, you're like, yeah, but I've done all the research. If ChatGPT tells me if I've trained for 16 weeks, this exact mileage and this exact thing and do this exactly, I'm going to get this specific outcome. No,
Right.
That's not how life works. Like
Right.
so many things can influence that. So when you went back to the half marathon, I was really proud of you that you did that. But I don't think I've told you this too. I was really proud of you that you did that and you did it well. But in my head, I was also a bit disappointed. I was like, ugh, I wish you got the lesson of, and maybe you have, of it's still okay that I was slow at the longer thing and I was not the best at this longer thing, because maybe that's not for me, but I can still do it and train and be the best at that pace.
Right.
Like I'm because you're not competing with anyone.
True.
You ran that race fastest. Okay.
No.
Then what?
You know what happened? I finished the race, and the guy that came first finished in an hour. So I finished in an hour 58. The guy finished in an hour, and I was like, wow, can I run an hour? But I would say when I got to the half marathon, I was like, I'm not gonna run fast unless I feel good. And I started running, and at mile 2, I followed the pacers, and I looked at them, and I was like, oh, like I feel good.
Yeah.
And Brooklyn was so like that was the Brooklyn Marathon. It was so beautiful.
Yeah.
I was like, I love this.
Yeah.
And I was going, but I honestly didn't think that. All I knew is I wanted to finish under 2 hours.
Yeah.
And the moment I looked and I saw the 2 hour pacer, I was like, no, I have
I
to
gotta
keep
go
going.
run. Yeah. I'm really proud of you. I'm still proud of you through everything.
I'm happy I did
sorry.
not run Toronto. Because I
I'm
was
happy
going
you
to
did
go
not.
4 days later.
I know
to
it was
Canada.
you were just gonna try to prove to yourself, I guess, that you could do it and then break your leg, which would not make any sense because we don't need your leg, we just need your mouth. I don't like that. I don't like how I said that. Moving on.
I'm grateful for my legs.
I am too.
Yeah.
We're all grateful for Donald's legs. I didn't like that either. Let's move on. Okay, guys. Let's see. What else have you guys missed? I'm working with Delta.
Yeah.
I'm working with one of my dream brands this year. That was really exciting. They're doing this really cool production. I don't think by the time this episode comes out, I don't think it's going to be live yet, but it's going to be live on their YouTube channels and hopefully on planes everywhere. So if you see my low face on a Delta plane or an ad, yeah, your girl's big. She's doing big things. And that's been such an interesting experience just navigating. I'm literally going to Atlanta in a few days to film the final episode for them. And I've been traveling a lot. I've hit 5 countries this year alone, which I'm really grateful for as well. Many more to come. My goal is to hit 10 countries this year intentionally. And we're very much on track to do that. It's also something really big coming up this summer that we're not going to tell you guys yet, but we're going to tell you guys really soon. But I'm also doing really well, like mentally. I've been the past day or 3 days have been rough, just because I think with the podcast starting over, with everything going on with Delta like ending, I'm like feeling a bit lost on what I want to do. But I realized I can't stop moving. And the moment I stop moving is when I start getting in my head. So my goal has been to just not stop moving and prioritizing like my routines and my goals and everything like that. And it's been really good so far. So it's been a really good year for us, I think.
I think yes.
Yeah,
Right? Because we came into this year like really strong.
we did. Like
we
this,
came in swinging. Like it was like,
and it felt like there was so much going on in our lives.
Yeah.
That like it made sense to come into the year the way we did.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and just even like working through everything that I went through last year and this year too. 2025 has been a very interesting year.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's been a blur so far, and it's gonna be even crazier.
So? I think
I don't remember like Donald. I mean, I was in Ghana twice in January, February. Like, what the hell?
No, yeah, a lot has happened.
March,
right?
I was not home March or February or April, and then it's May now, and then like my mom's in Canada now with my family. Like I'm supposed to be going there. Work is happening. We stopped the podcast. We're starting it over again. You ran a marathon. I ran a half marathon. I've lost friends. I've gained friends. I've had people come to stay over. You know what I mean? Like
and I feel like it's important.
Okay.
There's a lot of personal work going on behind the scenes between both of us.
Yes, I think we're doing a lot of self work and self growth. Like we're doing this thing where we don't scroll on our phones anymore.
Right.
That's been really hard.
Yeah.
Like I gave up on this. I started watching YouTube because I just couldn't not watch YouTube. And every time I scroll, I give myself 15 minutes if I catch myself going online to like respond to DMs and stuff.
Is too small.
It's too small?
No, like
it's too much.
You give yourself 15 minutes.
It goes away so quick.
It's so fast.
Like I'd be on the bathroom like, wait, it's finished? I have to stop this?
Yeah.
But we decided to not scroll for the entire month of May just to see how it changes our perspective of working and content. It's a game changer. I don't think I've not compared myself. Like I had the Met Gala recap, which the Met Gala just happened. The way I did not even, because usually when I'm doing a recap like that, I'll go scroll online, see what other people are saying, and then oftentimes without knowing it, it influences your decision.
Yeah.
I just didn't do that. I literally kept my TikTok open, saved the photos, posted, saved the photos, posted, and I got over 10 million impressions on that alone. And I was like, oh my God, I am so special by myself.
Right.
Like individually, we're so great.
Right.
We as humans are not meant to be taking in so much of other people's content.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be like if you're interested in being a creator, right? Like, because there's certain people who aren't. People who enjoy taking things in, they enjoy doing that. Like, I wouldn't be where I am today if there are not people who enjoy listening to people talk.
Right.
Right. Like, I enjoy podcasts, so I listen to certain people talk too. And I'm learning that it's okay to quiet your mind a bit and just focus on you. So not scrolling has been really great. We started The Artist Way, the one that Doechii popularized recently, and this is this book about discovering your creativity. That's been also insane to me. Like the self-work I've been working through has been a bit scary. Like I think one of the biggest things I've learned from The Artist Way is I am my biggest critic. Yeah. Like you guys, I overthink every fucking thing. And like this has been something that I've struggled with since time. Yeah. Like Snapchat is terrible for this because Snapchat has memories. Almost every single video of me in some way or form every month is me saying, I don't know if I'm doing well enough. I don't know if I'm doing good enough. I don't know if I'm doing this. I don't know if I'm doing that. I'm sorry. I'm not doing better. I'm so critical of me and myself, and I'm a perfectionist. I realize that holds me back so much. So I'm learning to even like unpack that and just let go and let live.
One of the things I learned from week 3 was, you know how like you have this high of like you're on a good run and then like you have this rest, right? Where like your body's resting, being able to tell yourself that like this rest is needed. Yes. Right? Like it's not, because like I feel guilty when like I'm not doing anything. Yeah. I'm like,
we need to do something.
Like something needs to happen. And you said something today, right? It's like, and I think this ties back to how season 1 went. It's like at no point did I look at season 1 and I'm like, wow, this are like thousands of people and all this comments of people.
We didn't do that.
No,
we didn't even celebrate it like that.
Because the entire time we're just like,
what's next?
Where can we go? And like what you said today was, we should figure out, like you're learning how to enjoy
the moment,
the things that like you have, right? Because there's so much going on. Because look at that Met Gala thing, it's like, that's easy. And, when we look at like the Odditty reacts, we look at all this, like we've done so much.
So much.
And yeah, it's like, unfortunately.
It's instant gratification, I think, is our issue.
But no, I think it's also the ambition. It's like.
We're very ambitious.
Yeah, and it's the container that we've built, that we want to occupy is really big. So it's frustrating when we're not like, increasing at the rate, like the volume is not increasing at the rate at which we want it to.
I'm thinking about it from Timothée Chalamet. That's not right. Timothée Chalamet. When he got the award and he said, I want to be one of the greats. I want to be so successful. Like I I am meant to do more. I am not meant to simply exist as me in this moment. I am meant for so much more. I know it in my bones. And so sometimes I feel like because I know what my potential is, I am pushing myself to the brink of exhaustion because I'm like, girl, you're not even there yet. Like I right now, I think I'm at 0.0%.
It's the
Like
hardest thing.
I think we're both at. Like I
Yeah.
think when we talk about it a lot, we're like, we're not even there
It's like
yet.
every piece of content, work, anything that I do,
Yeah.
I hate because I'm
Yeah.
like, it's not good enough.
I know like, it's not good enough. I
Right.
know there's so much more that I can do.
I can do better, but
I
am I
could
just
do-
like,
Why didn't we think of
why
this?
didn't right?
Yeah.
You know?
But I want to give us grace.
Yeah.
And I want to give whoever's listening who's also feeling the way we're feeling grace. Because I feel like our listeners are from all over the world, but specifically we have Nigeria and the US as some of our top like countries.
Yeah.
And if you are Nigerian or from America, it's a rat race. If you're listening to this, you're going to be thinking of how can I make money? How can I be better? How can I be successful? It's a rat race that we're engaged in. And I just want to give us grace, all of us who are like high achieving people who really, really want the best for ourselves. And we feel like maybe we're not there yet. You're on that journey. You're in that mix. You're on that process. You're on the ride. You're on the yellow brick road. The castle is right there. The Wizard of Oz is in front of you. Like, okay, well, the Wizard of Oz.
And you're also alive.
You're alive and well.
Right.
Like you're thriving, you're flourishing, you're in that growth stage. And last year I kept saying I'm so grateful. And I remember my friend was like, why do you keep saying you're so grateful? Like, we know you're grateful. No. I'm not saying it for anybody else. I'm saying it for me.
Yeah.
Like I need to remind myself every time that I am grateful for the opportunities I am being afforded right now.
Yeah.
Because if I don't say that, then at some point I'm going to forget that I'm supposed to have gratitude for everything happening to me. And I never want to forget that. At my core, I always want to remember where I started, where I am currently, and where I want to go.
Yeah.
So even right now, I'm grateful that we have the opportunities to do season 2 again.
Right.
Like I'm grateful that you guys who are coming, who are new listeners, I'm grateful you found us. I'm grateful for folks who have been with us who have been like, yo, when is the next episode?
Right.
Because we're building something here that I think is so special. Like the dream is in a year or 5 years, we're in Madison Square Garden, sold out arena, me and Donald on that stage, guest starring Inni Cash and Justin UG, guest performances by fucking Ira Star, Beyonce, Tyler, The Weeknd, SZA. I'm just throwing out names, right? And like we're the biggest Black podcasters in the world, all for being ourselves. Now, for a lot of people, that could be like, how the fudge are you gonna get there? I don't know.
That's true.
I don't even know if we're ever gonna get there. I wonder if this clip is gonna die in the abyss. Or I can think about it and say, no, this is exactly what's going to happen because I can see it. I can see me at MSG, at Barclays Center. I can see me inspiring so many people and inspiring myself to dream as big as I want to possibly dream because there's so much potential. It's crazy. There is so much potential in truly being and existing yourself and being vulnerable because I think this space is exactly what that is. Okay. Oh my God, this is a really good season starter kickoffer. Clearly we've missed talking. Yeah. We've missed this shit. I've missed this so much, guys. I'm so glad I'm back. I'm so glad we're here. It's so special. All right, let's get into some pop culture commentary, some everything that's been happening. The one thing I don't see on the notes, we're going to be using my trusty iPad that I really want to talk about, is Jalen Noble and fucking Monet McMichael. When it was happening, when I tell you, it took me so much not to freaking write a think piece about those two. If you're listening to this, let me give you some backstory. Monet McMichael is an incredible TikToker, creator, model, artist, everything, who she blew up on TikTok from being a former nursing student who's currently now one of the biggest influencers and creators. Jaylee Noble was on Love Island and he and Monet are dating. We followed her journey on going on dates with him. They're now dating. People love to hate people. That's one thing I'm learning about social media and negativity. And recently, Jalen bought a house. And when he bought the house, he bought a house in Austin. It's like a cabin / vibe house kind of thing. And the house is a guest house that resembles like one of those like old plantation houses in America, like slave quarters essentially. So he talked about, one of his first videos was him talking about, this is my guest house. This is the plan for it. We're going to make it into a gym. And the comments there was like, oh my God, this looks like slave quarters, da 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 da. And he was responding in the comments, laughing with them, like, yeah, y'all are gonna go crazy. Yeah, your ancestors must know this is crazy. But he started talking and doing all of that, right? And he was clearly joking. It's the same way, like, if me and Donald were ever doing something, and for some reason, someone is like, oh, yeah, Sophie, X, Y, and Z. And I'm laughing about it like, oh, yeah, this is clearly a joke, right? Yo will definitely know I'm not that kind of person. So that's what I got from his comments. Fast forward to Monet getting her house as well and like talking about the comments. People talking about how he says my house, she says our house. They've been dating for about 2-3 years now. And he posted a gym transformation video and people went crazy talking about how Black people should not be owning homes that resemble plantations, should not be in these spaces. They should talk about these spaces with reverence. And there was a lot of think pieces dragging these two creators. And all I could not stop thinking about is, why in God's name do we love to hate each other? Tell me, Donald. Money. Explain.
TikTok makes money.
So people, some of these commentators don't make money.
No, yes, attention.
But it's like negative attention.
I'm simplifying it, but it's like you said, right? It's really hard to not
talk.
But
why? Like, I hope to God that I don't have any comments where I've been negative with people. And if I do, that was a very terrible time for me. If I ever have that. Well, I have never thought to fix my hand and write something negative. If I felt like gossiping or being negative, I will text the group chat.
Right.
Or call my friends to gist them.
Right.
I don't imagine a world where we're so comfortable pouring out negativity, like, yappa, yappa, yappa.
It's so bad.
You literally fix your phone to record you talking negatively about someone else. And here's the thing. There's a difference between criticizing someone or giving, like, feedback. Like, oh, hey, Jalen, I saw your home. This is no negativity to you at all. I think you should do this. Maybe send them a DM. You might not know them. Right. They might see them. Might do some research themselves. That, I think, is a better approach than creating a whole video.
But it was also, like, based off of, like, something that wasn't fact.
Wasn't fact, for crying out.
Like it wasn't true.
He comes back and he's like, my place has no relation to slavery. People are like, oh, of course he would say that. Oh, this definitely, it's fake. People, da, da, da. Shut the fuck up. I'm so sorry, guys. Like,
and he had to hire someone.
It's so mean. And Monet posted on her Snap, on her spam page, where she talked about how exhausting it is because there's a phenomenon, especially within the Black community.
Because you be your own people.
Everywhere.
That's the craziest part for me.
Honestly, it's really in the immigrant community.
Yeah.
No matter what immigrant you are. Like, I have a friend who's Korean. We were just talking about this too.
Yeah.
Where you get to a certain point and it's the crab in the bucket mentality where you feel like you have to fight each other for the little resources that are left. Because how dare you be better than me when I am supposed to be at the same level as you or better. And that to me breaks my heart because I can't imagine posting content, being very happy for myself, being a proud Black guy or Black woman, sharing my wins. And people are questioning, oh, of course she took out the Black in her bio. Of course she's saying my house when that guy hates her. Get a fucking life. You guys, why are you so mean? Yes, you're mean. You are being mean. Because imagine if it was you. Like, I can't imagine a world where I see you walking in the street and I say, look at your ugly ass with your ugly house and your dirty clothes. In person, I will smack the shit out of you.
Right.
Like, I wish a Black Mirror episode should come out where instead of negative opinions, someone appears in front of the person they want to say something negative to and say it to their face.
Right.
I dare you. I dare these people to go in front of someone and just step in front of them and say some crazy shit.
But they're not going to do it.
Because Twitter warriors, finger warriors, yapping warriors.
No, I think like Twitter is different.
So much.
Twitter is different.
Because that's just behind text messages.
Your
face is on there. And it just takes one person to say something for the dogpiling to begin because you all want those views. You cannot be successful by being negative.
Yeah.
Let me repeat that. You cannot be successful by being negative. It doesn't matter what you do or say.
Right.
Like, even me, when I was doing Met Gala recap, I felt so bad. I couldn't say worst dress. I said not best.
Right.
And I even then, I felt so bad because I'm like, I can't imagine. So even now, I still regret doing it. But I'm like, in some way, like, the folks who are doing this particular thing are opening themselves to criticism too. And I see that with social media too, where it's like, oh yeah, if I post online, I'm opening myself to critique. Was a different critique been saying worst dress versus I think you deserve to die because you potentially are living on slave quarters? Mind you, there are white people who also live and have weddings.
Who is
weddings
exactly
on these plantations?
Because like who else is supposed to own it?
And even if they're owning it and are not I can't speak. Even if they're owning these spaces and not representative of the, like, they're not representing, what am I trying to say? Even if they own this thing and they're not hyping it up or like showing reverence to the spirits of the land, The fact that as a black person, as a black descendant, you have the ability to even buy the land in the first place, your existence is an act of resistance. Your ancestors will be proud of you regardless. We are doing this shit. Like, that is a black man who can afford to buy his own home. That is a black woman who's able to afford to buy her own home, who is finding success on social media. We were in chains. And now we're breaking free, owning podcasting, owning studios, making films, pushing the barriers of things our ancestors could not dream of. And what we want to do is break ourselves fucking down. Are you kidding me? Some of the biggest bullies on social media are all these creators who all they do is bully each other. It's terrifying. Why? Why the negativity within our own community? And yes, it's okay. Fanita, it's okay to criticize, but the idea that you want to bring someone down because, oh, they deserve to be canceled.
Right.
Shut the fuck up. I'm so sorry. Clearly, I'm so passionate about this. Like, I wish, like, it's so very little of us who happen to break past the barrier to go to the top. And even then, we claw at those people at the top to bring them back down to earth. I've never seen anything like it. And we're such a small population. It terrifies me that everybody else is going to win while we keep losing because we can't fucking see what we're supposed to be doing. We can't see past our own bullshit. So shout out to Jalen and Monet. Congrats to Jalen for having his beautiful home. Congrats to Monet for killing it. You deserve the very best. No matter what, keep your head up, keep swimming. Ignore the hate. They're always going to hate. There's nothing you can do about it. I am just really proud of you guys. Your existence is always a form of resistance, no matter what they say. Let me let you know that. Next pop. I'm so passionate about that.
Hashtag your existence is a form of resistance.
It really is. Okay, moving on.
Wow.
We have a new pope, and he's an American pope. How do we feel about that? I'm not Catholic, so I know nothing about the
He's from Chicago.
pope process. It's from Chicago.
Yeah.
Chi-town. Is that right? I don't know.
Yeah.
America.
Is that good for Vatican City?
I feel like the beauty of the pope is I think Americans tend to make everything about Americans. But for the most part, I don't know where the last pope was from.
See? Argentina?
I don't know. But Argentinians would know. But the beauty of the idea is like when the pope becomes a pope, he sheds his past life.
So why did they have to say he was American?
Because Americans will American every time. Americans will American every time, especially because he's also a pope that stands against what the current administration is doing.
Right.
So it makes sense that they're like, oh my God, we have our first American pope. Also, he's the first American pope ever, which is, I think, very symbolic. And I'm interested to see where the Catholic Church goes, because also the world is becoming very hateful. Well, Argentina, that's good. The world is becoming I think we had like a solid 8 to 10 years where everybody was like, oh, diversity, oh, inclusion, oh, growth. And now everybody's like, boo, any advancements at all. Like, we don't want any of this to happen. So I like that. I think it will be interesting to see an English-speaking American pope champion and push back against like what the current Western world is doing. Because I think the West is becoming stricter and more conservative.
Yeah.
And what's so funny to me about conservatism or just people wanting to control other people, it's never worked well for anyone in the past.
Yeah.
I don't think nothing has ever worked well for anybody wanting to control people. Like, people have lost their lives. People have suffered because we genuinely just wanted them to not be who they are. And it's disappointing when I see humans just not respect and love each other. And I'm excited for the new pope. I'm not religious in that way, but everyone seems excited for the new pope. His brother, especially, there's been some news about how the pope's brother has been talking about how his brother is the pope, but he's still going to call him brother. And I was like, that's really cute. Humanize them.
People also mad.
Humanizes them. There we go.
Humanize.
Yeah.
People are also mad that he didn't speak English.
Like, Americans forget that Americans. The Pope does not speak.
Yeah, they were like, okay, why won't he speak English?
Because the Pope does not.
Yeah.
Even the former Pope did not speak English. Yeah. Americans love them though. # blue passport. Moving on, we talked about this a little bit, but the Met Gala also just happened.
Yeah.
I rated it on my TikTok, so don't forget to check out my TikTok for all those ratings. Black dandyism was the theme of this year's Met Gala. It was fun. It was great. I wish more people stepped out in color and did more. And I'm so curious to see why people decided to like. It's so interesting. Again, sorry, I say this a lot. What are you looking at?
No, I'm good.
No, but you're looking at something.
I'm just checking.
Okay.
Because pause.
Yes,
I'm also in charge of looking at this. So
Nolan is the producer as well as the co-host of the podcast, and he's trying to make sure
Just
the
to make
cameras
sure.
are all good at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And he distracts me because when he's doing that, I'm looking at him like, is something wrong?
No.
And
If
he's
something
like,
was wrong, I'll
it's
get
because
it.
you have a worried face the entire time. Your face is worrisome. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Anyways, guys, but the Met Gala happened. Let's talk about it real quick. First of all, how the Met Gala works is there are certain fashion houses that buy chairs. It's a charity event.
Thanks.
So you raise money.
I have no idea.
Okay, so you raise money for the Mets, right? The Metropolitan Museum, because people don't pay to go to the Met. It's free. They have these exhibitions and they make money. So this year they raised the most money, and fashion houses buy tables at this gala. You go in, there's performances, it's a fun time. But the idea is the fashion houses dress the people who they're inviting. It's very all-inclusive, very amazing, all that stuff. So sometimes celebrities don't necessarily have a choice in their looks, but they also do. There's a hierarchy, essentially. Like, the bigger you are, the more you have a relationship with the fashion house, you get the better looks. So I think most people came looking correct, and others did not. I want to speak from the Africans who attended, because I know Burna Boy, Ira Star, Thames, Kabi Lame, and so many other like African creators attended. But also, this was also the most diverse Met Gala. Though it was mostly Black, but also there was like a lot of like Indian actors there, Asian actors who were like incredible too, or Southeast Asians or Eastern Asians. I don't know. I don't want to say Asian because Indian is Asian. The point is, there was a bunch of diverse people there. The Africans at the Met weren't dressed in the way I thought they would be dressed. It's like bolder and like fun and amazing. And I was a bit disappointed, but I understand also like the hierarchy in those situations.
Yeah.
And everyone played it so safe with the theme that I was a bit frustrated about why everyone was playing it safe. And I can see there was a divide online with people saying they did really well and other people saying they could have done better. Because the theme is Black dandyism, like Congolese inspiration. You know, there's so much more. Being in a suit is just one thing, but the colorfulness, the boldness, the vibrancy, the intentionality of all of this, like, so they pulling up in a white suit pissed me off. Yes, I get it because she can rock anything, and she was going the simple route. I think she was trying to be Anita Baker. I think it was inspired by. I think maybe that was Megan Thee Stallion. I can't remember. No, I think Meg was Josephine Baker.
Right.
But either way, I was disappointed, but also it was fun. It was like with everything going on in America, this was a fun like insight into like Black expressionism and how amazing Black people can be even through a time of like frustration and anxiety around like so many laws being passed by the current administration in America specifically. Okay, next thought. I like how sometimes it all just looks at me as I keep yapping along.
No, because like you explained it, but I still don't understand the Met Gala.
Really? Also, it's a fashion thing. It's like for fashion heads. I like it because it's fun. Ooh.
I like the drama.
I love the drama.
The whole Shah Rukh Khan drama was interesting.
Let's talk about that. So you guys, fuck me. Tiana Taylor and Ego went in.
Yeah.
So Tiana and Ego interviewed Shah Rukh Khan.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know Shah Rukh Khan, he's a huge, like one of the biggest Bollywood stars in the world. And I didn't find anything wrong with the interview.
Me too.
But when a lot of people were like, oh, they felt disrespected because they clearly didn't know who Shah Rukh Khan was. I think people sometimes forget that America has centered itself as the powerhouse of media, right? And then we have
and not because of the numbers.
Not because of the numbers, just because of America. Like America is just a bully.
Right.
It's America. We all know America is like, if you've met any American, the average American is just, they don't care. They don't even travel out of America.
Right.
America is so big that
they don't need to.
Someone from Louisiana might never go to LA because LA is like the big city, and they judge them. Like, that's how America is. And then we have Bollywood. We have Korea, essentially. I say Korea because K-pop is a thing. Korean movies are a thing. We have Nollywood, which is the Nigerian version of Hollywood. Even then, Bollywood is inspired by Hollywood. And Nigeria's Nollywood is inspired by Hollywood. So essentially, the entire world tends to look at the West because the West has positioned itself as the sense of power. So in situations like that, where people say like, oh, why didn't they like show him more respect or prove that they like were listening and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, because it's America. America doesn't care about everybody else. America cares about themselves. America doesn't watch Bollywood movies. America does not watch Bollywood. Like, the average American would not know.
Movie you saw at the cinema?
But Nigerian would watch Bollywood. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think everybody else in the world interacts with everybody else in the world.
Right.
Americans don't necessarily interact with everybody else in the world. They tell their own stories and their own version.
Yeah.
And that's what Americans hear every time.
Right.
It's a beautifully fascinating thing about living in American media. Because if you're in America, you're so blocked out from the rest of the world. I think that's the same thing about, like, you can argue about any other place in the world. Like, they might just give you an idea of, if you go to Europe, for example, people think Americans are stuck up and annoying.
Yeah.
They are. But, like, that's the thing about living in America. You just you get that a lot and then you move on. So I think it was just unnecessary uproar, because once you accept that Americans can be,
I think the outrage comes from like someone who doesn't live in America. They watch the Met and they see that interaction and they're wondering why, like, first of all, it's Tiana Taylor and like,
no, but the stylist was the one who said, like, I don't think you guys understand, like, this is one of the biggest stars in the world. He came in with a chip on his shoulder. He was upset because even Shah Rukh Khan was like, I don't know why I'm here.
But
He
it makes
told me I
sense,
have to
right?
be here because I need to be here. He's not even a fashion guy.
right.
The man did not care to be there. So even his stylist been like, you guys need to bow down to this man.
Yeah. That's not how, like, unfortunately, right? Like, this is not,
No.
it's also not a caste system. Like, I feel like, you know, it's like,
They're going to react like that. Like,
yeah.
freaking Andre Leon Telly was replaced by Liza Koshy. That's all we need to know about American media. I don't know if you know who that is.
No.
Okay.
Where?
The former entertainment director of Vogue, who, like, the red carpet correspondent for the Met Gala, this, like, incredible fashion icon, was replaced by Liza Koshy for numbers, because she had more numbers at that point in her career. Like, it's American media. You accept that and you move on.
Right.
Anyways, moving on against some other hot topics. The BET Awards is going to be hosting 106 in Park's 25th anniversary celebration. Guys, when I heard about this, I didn't know it was a thing. And I like that the BET Awards is coming back in America. I think when I was a kid, I used to watch 106 in Park on BET. That was like my first intro into Black American culture that I really enjoyed. It made me feel very fascinated about everything. So I'm really excited that is happening. I don't know if I'm going to watch the BET Awards. I wasn't planning on it, but now I think I will, because I'm like, when is it happening? Paying tribute to the show. Oh, what's happening? It's airing June 9. Ooh, where am I going to be? I'll be on my way back.
Hosted by Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart? Oh, you guys have such that man. I love Kevin. He's so driven. That would be interesting to actually watch. We're going to stay tuned and we're going to react to the BET Awards when they come out, because I'm really curious to see, like, how Kevin revives it, because I think that's why Kevin is doing it. Yeah. He also just launched his cartoon on BET, so that makes sense. Kevin. No, Lil Kev.
I
think it's Lil Kev. That sounds about right. But I think that's also why they got him to do it. There's no way, because if not, I'm okay. I know he's not done. No one like
before.
High profile has done the BET Awards before, like in recent years. Yeah, I wonder who hosted it last year. Anyways, moving on again. Oh my God, Donald. 100 men versus 1 gorilla. We're like 3 weeks late from this conversation, but I want to talk about it. First of all, it's a recession indicator. We're deciding that we want to find out this argument. But also, this is not the first time I've heard this argument. Like, I've heard it before. Like, I feel like every 2 to 3 years, we come up with this 100 men versus 1 gorilla. My thing is, 10 men cannot fight a sumo wrestler, not to talk about a gorilla. So why in God's name would we think 100 men? Imagine you throwing Donald and peers like Donald would you charge a gorilla?
Why?
If I see the gorilla breaks one person's skull, I'm running away.
You know, the entire time when people are like, oh, 1 gorilla versus 100 men, I feel like the people that started the trend don't even know what a gorilla is. Because, like, this is not a monkey.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This is not an orangutan.
A gorilla?
This is like a gorilla, right?
1 gorilla can do
a gorilla, like, his hand can clear 10 people.
At
least.
Like,
the distance will be like
mind you,
10 yards.
If one gorilla should shove Donald's whole body can shove 10 people.
Yes.
So already you are down 20.
Is that?
I don't know if the statistic is right.
No. I'm like, is that a good thing?
You're big.
No, but you're right though.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? And some people are like, oh, some people attack.
Do people also understand? Like, I don't think enough people get into physical violent activities.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if more people engaged in fights, they will understand how fighting works.
Right.
Fighting is aggressive, guys. Like,
you have to be willing to die.
See.
No, but it's true though.
Do you ever think I would get in a fight?
No.
I swear to you, I would rather die. Like,
yeah. That's why I don't fight.
I can't fight.
When I was in boarding school, I used to fight a lot. But I didn't have anything to live for. No, I'm being serious. Because it's like, I went to an all boys school. So when you're fighting, like, I have nothing to live for.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
thinking
true.
about the
You're not
future.
thinking about the future.
We're going to die. But now,
Like,
I'm not going to
it's
touch you.
crazy.
100.
Do you know what's
First of all, it means that
this
100
is my
men need to
selling
agree
point.
that,
These
like,
are-
nobody will
no,
run
I
away.
think they will have to lock 100 people in the room. So first of all, are they willing to go into the room? That's the one thing.
Right.
Are they choosing to all fight to the death?
Is there a prize money?
Is there a prize involved?
Are there
and is it
weapons?
that they are sharing the money, or one person has to win? Because that's also a different.
Some people will even kill
push.
some of the other men.
Exactly. Human nature is very difficult. Like, they're going to start thinking, oh, because this man is saying this, I'm going to kill 10 of them first.
Right.
We've seen Squid Games, bro. A gorilla is just thinking food, anger. Is this a
The gorilla is probably like, why are you attacking me?
Is this a gorilla
Have you
who's
seen a
starving?
gorilla's teeth before?
Yo, have you seen his palm? One palm is bigger than 5 men's head. Are we mad? Why is the conversation?
The gorilla walks with 4. Like, a gorilla
His
is
one bum
that's
alone
like
push all
Tarzan,
of you.
right? Tarzan.
So essentially, there's no
Yeah.
way 100 men can take on a gorilla. That's insane.
This one, I don't know if you saw it.
100 US people versus 100 British people.
Yes. Okay. So one thing that someone said
I
that
saw a
was
Yami
funny.
posted about it.
No,
Talking about
see,
someone from Leeds.
Someone
I'm like,
said. Someone
Leeds?
said. No, no.
Liverpoolian.
Someone said that. Hasn't this already happened?
The Civil War? Oh, the British are coming?
I was like,
First of all, in America, the kind of food, the processed food they eat,
yeah,
you want to compare that to British beans?
yeah.
Have you guys seen a chicken from Walmart?
So you saying that's a good? Because I think
Yes, Americans
Some
are
girl
going to whoop
said-
their ass.
some girl
the
said
steroids alone
you need
in
like
their food.
she was like 350-year-olds from like Chicago.
50 years.
She said an old woman, like a 80-year-old woman from
Bro.
Arkansas. It's like
Give a Medea. What? Pull
Yo,
up.
Americans are
50,
aggressive.
10 Floridians who
Yeah.
fight alligators and crocodiles in the
Yeah.
swamp in
Yeah.
Louisiana.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
You know, have you ever seen like in
Have
the
you seen someone
South?
from West Virginia?
Yo, in the South, there was one time I was in Kansas.
You're looking at LA, everyone people. Oh,
I was in
day.
Kansas one time, and in Kansas, like the bars close like 11 p.m.
Yeah.
Right, but like there's something in the South, like where you have the bars, there's always police around, right?
Motorcycle gangs, right?
Yeah, like motorcycle
Yeah.
gangs, like they're always fighting.
Yeah.
I saw these 2 girls fight one time, and I
Those
was
girls-
like,
have you been to Waffle House?
that's what I'm saying. I was like, whoa.
I don't think the British understand American culture
Yeah.
here. You guys use knives
Yeah,
to fight.
that's the only thing. It's just
These
like the
people
knife.
use guns.
Yeah,
And
not
mind
even
you,
guns. Like they're anything.
bro.
Like
I
those
mean,
fights are
the Alabama
intense.
boat brawl alone should tell you that Americans have nothing to lose.
Yeah,
The government is constantly chasing them. If you think you have it bad,
Yeah.
come to America.
Yeah.
Come to West Virginia. Go to Alabama. Go to Mississippi.
you don't even need 100.
You don't need 100 US people.
Yeah.
Go to Detroit, Michigan.
Yeah,
The south side of Chicago. Okay, honestly, I'm just calling out names from movies.
No, it's
now.
true.
But
there are places in America that
honestly,
I would not step in.
Florida.
Yeah,
Florida is alone. The state of Florida, go to the state of Florida alone.
Yeah.
You're not gonna come back outside. 100 British people. Mind you, is this hand-to-hand combat? Or is this also with weapons? Because
Right.
that's even worse.
if it's weapons, then like the British people won't survive.
No, if it's with weapons, for sure.
Yeah,
And
they
if it's
won't
weapons that you have in your country, even worse.
They won't survive.
But
Because
if
you
it's-
think the Americans are coming with
If it's hand-to-hand
pistols
combat,
and shit.
just hungry Americans gonna say, please.
Oh,
It's
you
not
say-
a conversation.
You say hungry Americans?
Yeah.
No, honestly,
Like, what are we talking about
they'll
here?
probably eat you up.
Mind you, I'm telling you this with, bro, the British are not coming.
Yeah.
Let's just relax.
Yeah.
All right, finally, guys, I want to talk about Kai Cenat and Streamer University. If you don't know, Kai Cenat is the top biggest streamer in America. And is the lighting okay?
Yeah.
Because it's dark?
No, yeah, it's good.
Talk about Kai Cenat becoming the top streamer in the world. He is the top streamer in the world. He opened Streamer University. I was so close to actually applying for Streamer University because I feel like I really want to stream. There's not enough black girls or black women who stream, but he had 96,000 applications.
I had 6 million
6 million applications.
Yeah.
Of what?
of people.
Oh, that's true, because he just reviewed 96,000 on
Yeah.
his stream that day.
Yeah.
Or like he had those dumped into his folder. 6 million people applied to be at Kai Cenat. I don't think you understand. Like when people talk about social media now, like this is the new thing. This is the new wave. Like everybody is so hungry and looking for jobs, and there's so much opportunity within the space to grow that even seeing that I was like, wow, there's so many people who are hungry and ready and willing to learn. And just good luck to everybody who applied. I didn't apply, but for anyone who wants to do social media in general, there's so much opportunity there. Just start posting. I saw a TikTok the other day that was like, oh, everybody keeps saying start posting, start posting. What does that actually mean? It just means post. Like post what you're passionate about. Yeah. Even if not for the success, for just the fact that you're posting, because you never know where it's going to go. There's so many people in the world that you're going to find your success in your little tiny corner or in your big corner. You just never know. But shout out to Kaisana for even doing that. That's one of the smartest things.
That's like, a good point.
He's such a smart, like, player in the game. I think it's the way he moves is very, very smart. I really like it.
Before you conclude,
what?
You know he's building a school in Nigeria.
I did not know that. Kaisana is building a school in Nigeria.
Yeah. So he's building a school in Makoko.
I don't know if I like that.
Yes.
Is that why you're telling me to?
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna talk about it, because it's like I saw the picture. See if I can put it here.
So here's the thing about stuff like that. I can't say that it's poverty porn. Right. But also there's twofold to the conversation there. I worked in the nonprofit space for a really long time. And my goal when I had got my master's was I wanted to be in peace and conflict. I wanted to do some of these like UN guided work of giving back to the community. And one of the biggest things that I noticed about those spaces is white saviorism doesn't necessarily have to be from a white person, but also most of the things people do are either performative or they're not necessarily addressing the root problem of the issue, right? Because in this situation now, I'm like, does a school in Makoko make sense if maybe he puts computers in the school? Is he going to put no computers? Is he going to fix the dam? Could he fix the water issues there? Could he give them better homes?
Because the school is on the water.
You see what I mean? Like, right. What is the main issue and how does that in the long term affect the kids there? For context, Makoko is in the slums in Nigeria, right? And there's so many issues going on with those kids. Education, of course, is a big factor. Right. But so also is hygiene. So also is health. So also is like finding better homes for them. The space in itself. Are we revamping the slums? Is it just the school? And of course, like there's probably like he can't do everything. He can't fix everything. But for me, when I see stuff like that, I'm like, is this the best approach to a situation of this magnitude? I don't know. So that's why I'm like, I'm really, that's my thoughts on it. At the same time, like it's something good he's trying to do. It's like the same way Mr. Beast like said he was building homes for different people in like different parts of the world, or he's giving back water, or there are people like the UN would say they're funding women to make clothes, but if the same women you've been funding for 25 years are still making the same clothes and they're still the same place you had them for the past 25 years, are they actually growing, or is this just you feeding your pockets for another profit or for a tax rebate?
Okay. So I'm going to give you information.
Okay. Give me information.
Right. The school is going to cost $2.4 million.
That's crazy. In Makoko?
Yes. And I'm looking at the video right now, right? I remember seeing this video and he breaks down the build and the timeline cost. And
2.5 is crazy. 2.5 is crazy. 2.4 is crazy.
So phase 1 set up $75K, 2 to 4 weeks. Land selected and purchased $500K to $800K. A land in Nigeria, Makoko, Abuja, it doesn't matter where it is. Looking at this, I'm just afraid.
Of what?
Of the people he's working with. Right? Because where does land cost $500,000 in Nigeria? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because this is a school. The school has not been built. This is the land. Permit and pre-construction, $75,000.
$2.4 million for a place in Nigeria.
Yeah.
In Lagos, on the island? It depends, right?
It doesn't matter.
I don't think we have enough information.
Look, because this was a video like, this is like...
No, I mean like from his stream. I mean, I'm saying like, I don't...
Look.
Phase 2 land selected, purchase 800,000, permits and pre-construction 75,000.
I think what's interesting, when you see that, when was that posted? 2024, right?
No, it was like 2 months ago.
Yeah. I don't think he would talk more about it because it can be very messy.
No, of course. Because he already said this out.
Yeah.
And I can imagine people seeing this and being like, someone said, no, somebody's eating good in Nigeria.
No, someone's eating really good.
Because this is
That's an absurd amount of
Setup?
money.
What are you setting up?
What are you saying?
75,000. Like if you spend 75,000 on setup, you spend 800,000
no
on the
naira?
land. Dollars.
That's crazy.
You spend 75,000 on
$2.4
permits and pre-construction, right? And I think it's about $1.5 million on actual construction. And then operation, there's no number on it.
Yeah.
So we haven't even gotten to it because
To
this is supposed to be a
operational cost and
free
labor.
school.
Yeah.
How are you spending $2.4 million
already? That's actually interesting. We're going to follow that story.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see how it's going to end. Curious.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Yeah, this is a really solid episode. We love you guys very much. Thank you so much for tuning in to Am I Too Loud, the podcast. It's going to be solid season 2. Just to let you guys know what is coming up in this next couple of episodes. I'm going to be traveling a lot, which means sometimes you're going to have solo episodes with just me. You might have solo episodes. We might have solo episodes with just me. You're going to have episodes with me and a guest. We're going to start trying to bring guests on the podcast. We're going to have me and Donald have interact with other people. Me and Donald might call in from other places around the world, but the podcast is going to come to you every Wednesday for the foreseeable future till we get to 100 episodes, because all we're going to always do is try our best to be the best we can be. And that would include, like, if you guys have any submissions, don't forget to go on our website, amitoloud.com, amitoloudpod.com, or amitoloud.com. Oh my God, I'm choking.
amitoloud.com.
Thank you. To just, ask us any questions, drop your comments, drop your voice notes. Let's hear from you. It's going to be really fun creating episodes over the next couple of months just to entertain you guys and just have fun and catch up and check in on anything going on. We'll try our best to be as timely as possible to react to current events as much as we could.
Yeah.
But otherwise, this is the first episode of season 2 of Am I Too Loud, and we're so excited you were here with us, and I can't wait to see you next week Wednesday for another episode. I love you very much, pod fam, and I'll see you later. Mwah. Bye, guys.
Yeah, you guys changed my life. Bye.
Okay, dramatic.
That was pretty deep.
That one took like what? You guys changed my
But it's
life.
true though.
It's so dramatic.
It's
Did I
true.
get any calls? Oh, I hate when I open my phone when it was on Do Not Disturb and it's like silence. Nobody even sent me a Snapchat? That's not even fair. Really?